Alright, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. This is somewhat of a part 2 to a video that we did on the channel recently, and that video is Jamaicans overstaying in the thousands, and Donald Trump wants it to be fixed. Now, I don't know if you know it, but the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Right Honorable Andrew Holness, recently had a meeting with Donald Trump, and of course, you can only imagine the amount of different things that were talked about in that meeting, to include Venezuela and so on and so forth, but we're not going to get into that. Alright, so what we're going to talk about today though is some of the comments that were on this video after we did the video, and I want you to stay tuned. Don't miss this, because Trump has made a new proposal to the visa program in the US, right? And it's about to walk the halls then, as you would put it, go into Congress, and could possibly become legitimate changes to the system. I'm not going to talk about that there. I'm still going to talk about Jamaicans overstaying in the thousands. Alright, so some of the comments. Pardon my sneezing. Simply Jen said, I feel like if things were better in these other countries, then people wouldn't run off. I'm not saying it's right. I just feel like that there's reasons that they're looking to make a better life. And I firmly agree. See, here's the issue. At the very moment, a lot of people want to hear all the good news about Jamaica. So I'm going to mix the good news with reality, right? So at the very moment, Jamaica is sporting a 7 to 8% unemployment rate. So what that number means is only 7 to 8% of the country workable workforce individuals, work group age, are unemployed. So everybody else has employment, and it's the lowest it's been in decades. That's something to brag about. Also, not only Jamaica, but foreign countries are bragging about Jamaica's stock market. And although it's a small stock market, it outperformed every other stock market on the globe in recent times, last year to this year period. That's something to brag about. Does that affect the common man in Jamaica though? It doesn't trickle down to dumpling and butter. Does it trickle down to ackee and saltfish? Does it trickle down to chicken back and whatever you put by your table then as the common man? And my answer to that is really and truly no. The people up top, they benefit more. So what Simply Jen is saying really makes sense, that people are only running off because they're looking for better. I see a lot of comments, everybody are going like America or US are the best place in our world, or no. I've heard Jamaicans say that all the time, but them are the same one, if you give them a visa right now, them cut faster than knife. You know what I'm saying? So, there are pros and cons to the thing. A lot of people have come to the United States of America and made good off the opportunities that they would not have had in Jamaica. So we can't just act like we don't see that. There are many Jamaicans abroad that are, specifically in the US, that are financing things back home in Jamaica, which contribute to the economy. It contributes to families being able to provide for themselves, take shame out of them, build houses, open businesses, keep businesses running, feed families, send picnic go to school. May I talk about high school, college, university, them kind of thing. They go earn degrees and all these things. All these opportunities are there, and people have made good on them. So we can't act like this is just something that we look at. Here's the mean truth. When we have over 10,000 Jamaicans in 1 year time period that either run off into the US or overstay their visa, it blights those who had no plans to migrate in the first place. And all they wanted was an opportunity to go do some business and come back. Because in the long run, what they are threatening to do now is they're looking at Jamaica now and they're pointing a finger. This is from Homeland Security that this information was passed down. From Homeland Security of the United States of America, this information was passed down that Jamaica is becoming a problem, right? And if we get to a certain number, then we will be a real problem. And if we become that real problem, then, and we're pushing there, and if we become that real problem, then there will be sanctions, like a ban on, say for instance, if the United States says no visas will be issued to Jamaica or Jamaicans for the year of 2020, the entire year of 2020 from January to December, not one Jamaican will get a new visa to come into the United States of America. There are many Jamaicans that really don't want to live in the United States of America, but they do business here, right? And it would hurt those people. It would hurt the students who come up on work programs, because I know for sure that UWI, University of the West Indies, has a work program, and so do others, where students go to school, they're at university, they're earning a degree. They get to, say, summertime, travel, work, experience, see the world a little bit outside of where they're at, and earn a money which can put towards their tuition. And it would blight all these people. So you would have probably students who are now going to be struggling even more to pay back tuition money, or to pay tuition money to keep going to school. It would hurt people who are involved in thriving businesses to continue keep those businesses going. It would hurt a lot of people. It would hurt even simple vacationers who just want to come vacation. They don't really want to live in the US. They just want to come vacation, visit some family members. Well, I guess I can't see you for 2020. Who knows? It could even be a funeral. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reality of what would really happen there. Kevin Thomas says the worst thing to ever do is to enter illegally and overstay your time. Talk done. Well, Kevin, check this out. If you enter illegally, then you're already in the wrong. So any stay you stay a day or minute, a second after, because you should not have entered illegally in the first place. I think it's best for you to say if you entered legally and then overstayed your time, then that's bad. I don't think it's the worst thing you could do. I think the worst thing you could do is enter illegally, because that sends the authorities into a panic mode. Because what it says to them is whatever means, whatever gateway that you took to come into this country, we need to find that fast. Because Osama bin Laden replica could come in the same way, come bomb up a bunch of places here, come poison a water supply for a whole city here, all these kind of things, and we don't know how you came in. It's when they realize, okay, you came in legally but you overstayed, they're not so panicky. We know you bought a ticket, we know you came on a plane. That's how everybody comes, right? But when you came in, or when you come in with no trace, then they start to think, well, hell, maybe he comes and goes all the time through that channel, whatever that way is. You know what I'm saying? And you could see the paranoia that could develop from that as far as security issues go. And well, that's one of the things that Donald Trump was talking about, is security issues. Roy Joy Rooms says, do have no intention of running off. I don't have no intention of running off, I guess. I love Jamaica. I only visit the USA to look for my family. And I'm in the USA now for 2 weeks, and I'll be leaving Monday the 20th. See? And these are the people that I talk about. They genuinely have no interest in living here. I just went to Jamaica in January and I was back in March again. So for the people who haven't been in so many years, and them like we said, when last I go to Jamaica, SouFlo, we just went. We just went twice for the year already. And I'm telling you that there are people in Jamaica that are living so good, contrary to what a lot of people believe. Because you know, so some people believe that the whole of Jamaica popped down or is falling down, and everyone is trying to escape. And it's not the case. There are really a lot of people in Jamaica that have no intentions of running off. They would love the opportunity to visit family abroad, but that's about it. Do some shopping, go back home. And they genuinely have no intentions of running off. And these are some of the people that I'm saying that overstayers and those that run off, they are going to hurt those people. But then again, we must understand and be very realistic. When somebody look for runoff, you see, usually it's because of two things. Either one, they're very foreign-minded and they really think that the grass is greener on the other side. It's a bed of roses. It's milk and honey and money grow on trees and this kind of things. And boy, if me ever get the opportunity to reach a foreign, me rich in a 1 year time. And they here 10 years, 20 years later and not even halfway near rich. You know what I'm saying? And they realize the struggle. Or it's someone that really, really has it bad back home, which does exist. And our people have a way of downplaying people's separation, like, Jamaica not that bad, you could have do something else. Well, no. Some people really have it that bad back home, like, them don't have no family foundation, no support, no way up. No way up. And here is the thing about the United States of America. You see, if you're willing to go work, I've seen people come here and work a fast food job. You can't build no house in a Jamaica and support no family and get no degree and do these things off of no fast food job. You can't do it. You can't do it. In the US, you can do it. Genuinely can do it. Now, it might be hard because how they do it is you plan, you strategize. All right, I start work at Burger King here. Me I burn the aisle. So me I do Burger King and me I do Popeyes. And you work at Burger King a day and you work at Popeyes at night or Walmart at night stocking boxes. And they go 2 jobs. That's why my morning thoughts are big up everybody that work 2 jobs. And then with 2 jobs, they're going to school either online partially and then at the institution. And before you know it, a 2-3 year roll off, boom, them have an associate's degree. And now you can go to work in 1 job. And you further your education some more and boom, you have a bachelor's degree. And 2 more years and before you know it, that's 4 years in the making and you're making strides. 6, 8, 10 years down the road, you have a master's degree. Or even stay with your bachelor's but your 1 job and you're building from that because you're working and earning enough to be able to do all these other things. To purchase a house, to have children, build a family, pay all your bills. Save some money. Send your pick to go school. Or even raise them in a way where they can finance their own way through school. Opportunities are there. You know what I'm saying? Which aren't there back home in Jamaica. So it's just the reality of things. It's just the reality of things. It doesn't matter. Dagger876 says it doesn't matter because when they get their status legal, they will be paying taxes by working legally. So America win either way. Yeah, that's what you're expected to do, is to give to Caesar what is due unto Caesar. Pay his taxes. Rayon Williams says, stop leak out on what the people them do, work-wise. I don't understand that, but anyways. Striker Entertainment says, I take those numbers with a grain of salt. Those people are known liars. They make things up just so they can make a law against you. Believe me. So, in other words then, Striker is not believing that what the Homeland Security of the United States of America is saying, that over 10,000 Jamaicans either ran off or overstayed grossly their B1, B2 visas, right? And I did a video, and if you missed it, right now I'm looking at that video on the screen, and apparently a lot of people were interested because in 1 day's time, that video racked up 76,712 views. So go check that video out and hear me give you the details. If you think they're making these numbers up, then that's on you to think so. You know what I'm saying? But I told you before about the plan to deport 60,000 Jamaicans in a 4-year span. That was the United States of America's plan. And when I first read it, I said to myself, 60,000 Jamaican, then we have 60,000 illegal Jamaicans living in the US. That's a whole lot of, that's a huge number. From such a small island of 2-point-something million people, 60,000 illegals in the US alone. I'm not talking about Canada and England now, you know. I'm talking about the US alone, not any other country across the world. And believe me, I've been to many different countries across the world and I've met Jamaicans in all of them. So we're some of everywhere. But to think that there were 60,000 and then somebody says, SouFlo, 60,000, I don't know, big number, more than that, illegal Jamaicans in the US. They know of 60,000 that them want to fling out in a 4-year span. So they're telling the ICE agents to go hard, find them. And what we don't know is that every month a plane hits Jamaica from the US with deportees. And it's been happening for a while now. So they're making good on getting that number. What is Jamaica going to do with 60,000 deportees? On top of who is already there. That's another dilemma for a whole nother video, which we'll probably do sometime down the road, right? I'm going to read 2 more comments and then I'm going to sum this all up. So, Jacqueline Ross says, SouFlo, I love your reasoning and feedback on your topics. Well spoken, big up yourself. Even some don't like the truth. Nothing but the truth. So help me God. Yeah, well, you know, we just come out, we do the thing. We speak it like it is, we do some research, we go to a .gov site, which means it's straight from the horse's mouth, and we just tell it to the people like it is. Because here what? Not everybody has the time. A lot of people working hard. All who have one job and do 2 double shift on the job and all these things, and then raising a family and all these things. People don't have time to sit and go through all and find out all this information and all that. Sometimes you get off work, all you want to do is tune into some stupidness to break up the monotony. You know what I'm saying? Of being serious all the time, on the job all day. So I take it as my duty to put important information out there that I think people need to know that will affect us as a people. Whether you like it or not, it will affect us as a people. Alright, so thanks for that, Jacqueline. Alright. How can I contact... Alright, Dante Thomas, this is the last one. So Dante Thomas said, every illegal immigrant in America, go and hold the faith. Don't stop run until the wheel fall off. Enough of them legal with papers and nothing no show feet but the papers. Alright, so in other words then, Dante is firmly for illegal immigration. Run if you can until your papers are straight. I'm going to close this video by saying this. If you plan on running off, right, let me tell you something. There are horror stories that go with people that run off. Believe me. And most of them end up saying stuff like this. I wish we did just stay at Jamaica. But here on. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place now because you've been running for 5-10 years. And then you're going to go back to Jamaica now after 5-10 years with nothing to show. People don't know your business, so them probably are going to say a deport to get deported. You haven't amassed anything to show for it. And probably can't sustain yourself when you get to Jamaica. And you're out of touch with what's going on there because you've been gone for that long, right? The horror stories I've heard of people that run off. If you're stomach strong and you make up your mind and decide to say sufferation in Jamaica is just too much for you, and as then give me that visa, yeah, cut me a cut. Be prepared to suffer. Be prepared to be taken advantage of, and I'm talking about sexually, I'm talking about all the alleys you can think of. Alright? Be prepared to go through it. That's just the reality of it. Talk to somebody who ran off. A lot of them probably won't even want to tell you some parts of their story because it was so demeaning and degrading, but they had to go through it. And yes, some people did go through it and make good of it. But things and times have changed. This ain't no longer the days where you run off and then you can stick around till you get a lawyer and work your thing out. They've implemented rules, laws, and regulations now where you're going to have to go back to where you came from. Period. So if runoff means come make a whole heap of money because you have some links and then go on back home and you accept that fate, then do you. Right? I'm not here to box food out of nobody's mouth. I'm just telling you the realities of what it really is. It's SouFLoTV, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Leave your comment in the comment section below. I'm out. Peace.